Welcome back to the Elwin channel, a place where we share all kinds of content ranging from life, health, history, to design. The sun, with all those planets revolving around it and dependent on it, can still ripen a bunch of grapes as if it had nothing else in the universe to do. Galileo Galilei. Fun fact number 1. Although you might be tempted to think of expensive luxury bags from the French brand Hermes whenever you hear of the Hermes god in Greek mythology, the actual name of the brand simply comes from the founder Thierry Hermes. However, it is interesting that the Greek god was actually known as a god of commerce and business, which would seem to correlate with such a successful company. Fun fact number 2. Hermes goes by several names. During the time of the Babylonians, to them he was known as Nebo, whose name inspired the biblical site Mount Nebo. To the Egyptians, he was known as Thoth, the messenger of the gods. And fact number 3, Hermes, aka Mercury, inspired the name Wednesday in many languages. In Latin, it is known as Mercury's Day, which directly inspired the term in French, mercredi, and in Spanish, miércoles. As we mentioned in our last video, it has been said for centuries by enthusiasts that all the elements within the great cosmos, like the moon, affect our mind and body in potentially different ways. But today, we're talking specifically about the planets and their rotations around the sun. They too have been claimed to affect us in some particular ways. Mercury, for starters, is the smallest planet in the solar system, but it's not to be underestimated because it is also the one that is closest planet to the sun, which makes it rotate the fastest due to its close proximity and takes only 88 days for it to complete an entire revolution. That's much different from what we know here on planet Earth, is it not? Now, it goes without saying that Mercury is a rather bright entity in the sky regardless of the time of day, and because of that, ancient people were always aware of Mercury in some form or another. The ancient Greeks associated this heavily bright object as a speedy and swift messenger of the Greek gods, going by the name of Hermes. So, the Roman name was actually Mercury, whereas the Greek name was Hermes. And thus, he is known to rule over the planet Mercury, according to ancient mythology. First things first, the not-so-pretty aspects about Hermes' characteristics were that he was known in Greek mythology as a dangerous thief or criminal, if you will, and a deceitful individual, even though he himself was considered a god. He was infamous for apparently taking the souls of the dead to the underworld, and so ironically, he was revered as a god of sleep. But on a positive note, he was also the son of Zeus. So naturally, he was the most intelligent and capable Olympian god whose one of many tasks included translating and sending messages on behalf of the other Greek gods, and for possessing an immense ability for athletics, which he inherited from his father Zeus. Having had quite a few wives who gave him children, he was also venerated as a god of fertility, wealth, good fortune, as well as the deity of business and or trade. But as mentioned earlier, he was quite the trickster, especially when it came to dealing with his brother Apollo, from whom he stole all of his cattle, and in order to make things right once he got caught, Hermes decided to make Apollo a lyre instrument with a tortoise shell and linen cords. And the rest is history. And since then on, legend has it that Apollo is and was the greatest musician since the existence of the world. Because of the quick-witted nature of Hermes, the planet Mercury is said to affect humans in specific ways, such as the ideas that the orbit of Mercury fosters within humans an abundance of intellect, self-awareness, and good communication within relationships. And since it is said to nurture a love for learning and teaching, it brews up volatile and fast energy within our bodies and minds. Enthusiasts would aptly label this as a sense of restlessness that happens due to the high levels of energy emanating from the planet Mercury. So as you can see, the movement of the planets has an incredibly deep history behind each one of them, aside from the scientific facts. And again, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our videos and share our videos on your social media platforms.